Hey guys, what's going on? Mouse here, and welcome to another Power of Destruction video. And today, light day, we just got our first 5 billion points here. I just spent I'm so tired. I just spent 6 hours testing various lineups, combinations, skills, etc. But yeah, I ended up using this lineup here, which I feel is the most stable one, which is something that I'm gonna use moving forward here in the light day, which is the light team plus steam 2 with Mirai and the 2 water units here. So I think this is the best one for me, like seriously. I've spent so much time on this. So in this video, I'm just gonna share with you guys what I've learned, everything I've learned, and things I've tried, and some information. So you might get some ideas that you might be able to use on your runs. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out team number 1. Alright guys, here's team number one's setup. Jinwoo, we have here 29.8k attack and crit rate, crit damage, pretty standard on everything. And for my skills, I'm still using the decimate. I think this one is the easiest. I tried the vacuum wave here, pretty decent as well, but the runs are gonna be inconsistent and shadow steps are gonna be much more difficult. But I think this one will have a higher ceiling. Chahe-in plus Gogun-Hee together can break the hands pretty quickly. Here again, you can use the other variations of Vital Strike depending on what you have. Vital Strike own in most especially because this one adds more damage to bosses and elite monsters if you are still lacking damage, because chances are if you have lower progression then you're not going to be able to burst the hands with this. So just adjust accordingly to what you have and what will make you feel comfortable, because the more important thing here is really not to maximize all the damage from these skills or whatever. The most important thing is to secure those shadow steps, because that's where the damage will come from. Alright, so for the second skill, I use the Cutting Rush Annihilation. I think this one is the best I have right now, although Sonic Stream Double Down is pretty close with this amount of damage output. Since this is an elemental skill, this one will work well if you're using things like the weakness detection, if you have the Sylph's Blessing on your support, if you have light element bracelets, things like those to improve your light damage. But in my case, I don't have those. That's why I still chose Cutting Rush Annihilation. So it dealt more damage in my case because I really don't have, like, for example here, water damage. I'm still using this bracelet because I don't have an extra light element bracelet. I had to transfer them to Chahe-in, of course. I think if you have like only an heroic version of the Cutting Rush or the Vertical Art Sequent Explosion, I think this Sonic Stream Double Down will be the better choice to use. But if you have the legendary version of this or this one, you kind of have to test it yourselves because you need the light damage increase for this one to work. Artifacts, pretty standard. I'm using 4-piece grid and 4-piece curse on Gogun-Hee. The blessing set on Min because I'm playing manual ult. So I will have burst window with Gogun-Hee's ultimate, with Chahe-in's ultimate all together. So that worked well. And as you can see, I used Igris here as my shadow. I adjusted the stat and traded some attack and damage stats because other shadows will increase crit damage, will increase basic skill damage. So this way I was able to increase every stat that I have, then I will still have the perfect amount of critical hit rate. If you're planning to use Chahe-in's ultimate tactic, wherein Chahe-in will have the highest total power and then Min's A5 will buff Chahe-in with increased ultimate damage. So you kind of have to pay attention to the total power of Gogun-Hee as well as Chahe-in here. But you don't have to worry about Jinwoo. Jinwoo will not be affected by Min's ultimate. So even if you have like 500,000 on Jinwoo, the buff's not going to go to Jinwoo. So yeah, team number one, pretty standard. You kind of just have to practice your shadow steps as well as the synchronized use of ult. I think I had problems with the lack of the dancer in some of the ults maybe. I'm not sure if this was the run, but yeah, kind of had to pay attention to that as well if you want to get the perfect run. 3 billion, I think, pretty decent. Let's go ahead to team number 2. Alright, team number 2, pretty standard here. And I tested a lot of possible combinations here. I used Alicia. I also tried Emma. I also tried Hansemi. And I also tried Joy. And so far, I think this is the best one that I got. And Alicia is a close one, but the timing on the shadow step with Alicia is kind of weird because she has to cast the skill and sometimes she will cast the ult. Sometimes she will pause because she's casting the ult and the cast time is like 10 seconds or so. I'm not sure, but it's too long. And in terms of damage, I think Mirai is still dealing a good amount of damage because Maylin will also buff her with the attack percent as well as the damage increase from the weapon. And so far, I think this is the one that I would love to use. And also the Shadow, of course, is gonna play a part there as well because if you're using Alicia, you want this Shadow, which is kind of doesn't have synergy with the units that we're using. So it's still like even with A3, my Saw and my Emma is pretty equal. Okay, I use the same artifacts, and I would say Saw was stronger in terms of DPS damage output for that. I also tried using this, kind of weird as well. Grid set is kind of crucial here in this case. And yeah, I feel like the skill damage was very crucial here because Saw will also benefit from that, being her skills, main damage skills are gonna be from the basic skills. So I'll just show you the adjustments in terms of stats because I shuffled my artifacts here for this run. Attack, here go. And then of course I change up my blessing stone because we're not using 3 same elements anymore. And then skills are the same, artifacts, setup, 4-piece curse, 4-piece expert. And stats, let's just show you the stats. 24.7k attack with Mirai. And for myself, 45k HP. Here, crit rate, crit damage, and damage increase, damage penetration. Pretty good. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you learned something today. Thank you so much for watching. So far, I think this one is a very, very stable lineup already. Alright, see you guys on the next one.